All right. Chris Schultz with Cosmico back. I got Jeffrey Arévalo going to be headlining on Saturday night with Cosmico with the Arévalo brothers, his brother Pedro, and Nicki, Bluhm, Jackie Greene, Jason Crosby. Going to be a great set. Welcome back, Jeffrey. Glad to be chatting with you here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Chris.
We're really looking forward to having you out at Cosmico. I wanted to just kind of ask you a little bit about what our audience can expect with the set. You guys are all unique musicians playing in different bands, different courses of your musical careers and journeys. But this is not the first time you've shared the stage together. You guys have had a chance to play. And so tell me a little bit about what folks can expect with y'all on stage.
Thanks. Yeah, really excited to share the stage with my brother again. And Nicki and Jackie, we had a chance to make some music back at Horseshoe Music Fest in Wyoming back in September. Just met Jason down in Mexico in January. We was playing with Oteil. Really sweet guy and really talented cat. I've seen him play with Phil a bunch. So really excited to share the stage with him and finally make some music with him. We're going to be doing a bunch of original music, which is really exciting. And then we're also going to try to sort of channel the spirit of the Bay Area and play some stuff from some local artists there. So I'm excited to show you guys what we have in store.
A lot of great music, a lot of great cosmic connections, within this group, and certainly, sacred ground where we'll be. Cosmico Fest takes place in Guerneville, and just down the road, Rio Neo Roadhouse. I was looking up, the Grateful Dead show took place there in 1967. So we'll be channeling those spirits for sure. And I'm sure on stage that night.
Beautiful. Can't wait.
And then after the main stage set, you're going to host a jam improvisational set in the lodge. I'm curious a little bit about what it's like to lead a set that's more improvisational. Is that more difficult than rehearsed songs? What's that like? Musicians sort of reading each other and kind of getting on the same wavelength for where a set's headed.
Yeah, it's, the jam set is really exciting. Hopefully we can get some of the other artists that are playing Saturday to get involved. But you asked if it's more difficult. I think it's actually much easier if everybody's, listening and on the same page. Many of us improvise pretty heavily in our respective groups. So it's fun to just sort of throw down a groove or maybe vibe out on a classic tune, or just sort of make it up together on the spot and have a lot of fun. So we can just relax and have a good time and sort of see what the vibe is and create together. So it's really fun. I think it's easier than the rehearsed set.
Interesting. As a non-musician, sort of, being in the audience, I love a jam set, an improv set, but the listening that you kind of mentioned, it's amazing to see artists in lockstep in that way, kind of playing off each other sonically and echoing sentiments. But in a sense, I guess when you're in flow, if you're tuned in, when you're listening, it's easier because it's coming out of a flow.
Yeah, it's, we're sort of channeling a spirit, if you believe in that. And if you can just get out of the way, then you can sort of become a beacon and just let the music flow through you and catch all the energy in the air and from the audience. So that's what we try to do.
Awesome. Yeah. Let the energy flow. One of the things that's really special to me about Cosmico and what we're going to be doing is this is in a beautiful part of the country, Sonoma County. We'll be along the Russian River in a redwood grove. To me, kind of nature's majesty at her finest, and I think everybody's from a kind of a set and setting aspect. For me, I couldn't imagine a more wonderful place to experience music. One of the things that I'm also kind of taking cues from, sometimes it's harder to find the opportunity to do a night show. And this is a night show, and we're working on kind of a lighting package. I was just meeting after our earlier call with our lighting designer. She's bringing out movers and doing a bunch of stuff. And, with your band Goose, you guys have an amazing lighting package. So talk to me about sort of the interaction in the experience between an outdoor concert in this natural environment and, the enhancing the interaction with the audience and kind of the sonic art with a visual art to create the whole experience. What do you imagine at Cosmico?
Yeah, that's really exciting. I love outdoor shows, and next to the river, that sounds beautiful. I've never really, or I haven't had the opportunity to really check out redwoods, so that's going to be really exciting. And then obviously the lights at night, I hope they can throw some on the trees for us, because that's always really cool. Yeah, outdoor shows, it's like you get the smell of the forest and the breeze. The breeze is really what separates outdoor shows from indoor shows. And it's, I think it helps you feel the spirit a little more, just catching a breeze and thinking about what kind of energy that brings or whatever you're channeling at the time. So I think it's a chance for us to, get in tune with nature and get out of the sort of concrete jungles that some of us live in and work in. So that's really exciting. And then obviously nighttime, the lights can shine and can create a different atmosphere there with the visual art.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. One of the things that we're trying to do with Cosmico is connect to a body of music and work that has been very meaningful to me in my life. And I think a lot of the people attending and a lot of the musicians. And in a lot of cases, this is sort of next generation players, playing and carrying on this tradition. And, we met through Duane and Lisa Betts at Horseshoe, and, their dedication, Duane's dedication to carrying on his father's music, Dickie Betts, who just died this week, is an important kind of tradition. And after the set last year at Horseshoe, your brother Pedro was sort of drawing the connection between the similarities in sort of spirit, in ethos between the Allman Brothers and the Grateful Dead, and the two traditions connecting different parts of the country, but very much on the same wavelength. I don't know if you guys are working in any Allman Brothers music or thinking about that, but I'd love to hear you just kind of comment on the connection between the Allman Brothers and the Grateful Dead from your standpoint.
Yeah, I think largely it's the spirit of group improvisation and unlimited creativity, and then the community that was sort of created around that music. I think the Grateful Dead are very largely responsible for sort of the festival type environment that we know and love today. And I think it's a chance to bring people together, tap into their creative sides, sort of let their freak flag fly and forget about, it's a little escape from their careers or their personal lives, whatever they have going on. And it's all, focused around, like I said, like the group improvisation that those two bands created, and then the community that surrounds them and supports them. So really excited to share that with everyone.
Yeah, and you mentioned community, how important that is. That's been something that connecting with the community, building community, having those strength of relationships has been something really important to me throughout my journey. And the way of life, I think one of the things when you're listening to music and a part of music, you're part of the energy exchange in the audience with the musicians on stage. It really, takes both in a live performance to really, lift those spirits. There is a ripple effect in society. These vibrations do, continue, and it sounds kind of, cheesy and maybe a bit reductive to say that this music makes the world a better place. But I think, at some level that's really why we're doing this, why we're producing a music festival like Cosmico, why you're playing the music you do, why these musicians connect. There's something that kind of has to come out that is about a level of positivity.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's so important to bring people together, to have a good time, to relax, let loose. And these events, especially these like specially curated festivals like Cosmico, it could be, one of the only chances to bring this certain, group of people together. But, for people to relax, to sort of tap into this environment where there's no judgment and everyone's free to be themselves and really let loose and, have a good time, spread positivity and love. And I think that's so important to recharge in today's world. And I guess it's the same for all time, but you got to have an outlet. And so I think creating an event like this is a huge outlet for everyone involved. And it's so important for the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The sharing of love is kind of a theme for us. We talk about music as love. I think about, the connectedness we feel in nature in this kind of environment. And obviously being in Sonoma County, we're kind of in the home of California wine, and we're going to have a wine camp and a lot of winemakers and thinking about wine as an expression of love. I was just hoping you could share a little bit about your experience with wine. We connected over natural wine recently and got you hooked up with some rock juice from Melissa Gisler, who's going to be there. Just say a few words about natural wine and your enjoyment and anything you're looking forward to at Cosmico on the wine front.
Yeah, definitely. That's very exciting. And thank you for connecting me with Melissa. I was able to get a couple boxes of her natural wine with a variety of reds. And it's just so delicious. And it really makes you feel good. And I'm excited to try some different wines from other makers there. The only downside of that is I'm kind of ruined now. I'm like a natural wine snob. You go out to a restaurant and everything, doesn't taste as good as what we have at home. So it's sort of a double-edged sword there, but I'm very excited to get into that area and meet the folks and thank Melissa for everything she's done.
There's gonna be a lot of good wine at Cosmico, that's for sure. All right. Well, I appreciate you doing this with me again. Section take. If you just give me a little intro for the outro, it would be great. And then we can sign off. Thanks, Jeff.
Hey, this is Jeffrey Arévalo of Goose. Come check us out at Cosmico Saturday for the Arevalo brothers featuring Nicki, Bluhm, Jackie Greene, and Jason Crosby.
All right. That's great.